transmission ribs, baby back ribs, as you can see them right here. I like to start off with a dry rub, which we'll be assembling. And my secret method is Crockpot first for about four hours in there, and then finish them up on the grill. So we'll get started. The first thing you got to do is we get some onions, throw them in the Crockpot, rough chop. They're not going to go anywhere. They're just going to cook with the meat. And I've got some apple. Throw that in. And let's just let that sit for right now. I'll throw a little bit of my pork base in there. This can be left out. It's not a necessity, but any pork bouillon will do, or pork base. So throw some of this in. Just a little bit. Goes a long way, that stuff. Okay, and now we will get to the, let me throw a little water in here. Ready to go on that. And now for the dry rub. After you remove the membrane from the back, measure carefully. You like to go with a shot of brown sugar, another shot of brown sugar. You got to have that sweetness. I think it's great. A shot of dry mustard, a shot of paprika, about a quarter shot of cayenne pepper, and secret ingredient number 1, cinnamon. Just a little touch of cinnamon, you know, maybe, well, just like a sippy shot. Throw that in there. Okay, we're gonna go with secret ingredient number 2, celery salt. Throw some of this in here. Not a lot. And the usual suspects, the garlic powder and the onion powder. You don't need too much onion powder because you have that onion in the pan already. So we're gonna mix this up. First thing I do on the ribs, step 1, would be to take this, I already started it, this membrane off of the back. If you leave that on, I mean, they'll just end up a little bit tough. So that's what I like to do, is just peel that right off. Boom, you got it there. Come back, clean up the little bit of ends here. And another big key is you want your ribs to be nice and dry before you put on the dry rub. Okay, so the membrane's been removed. I like to start on the bottom with the dry rub. And I also dry this off really well. And you want to bring it up to room temperature, of course. It's been sitting out for maybe an hour. And so we're going to go ahead and sprinkle liberally in there. Rub that around. A little bit more in there. Oh, that smells really nice. That brown sugar, excellent. That little bit of apple in the pot is kind of a secret touch too. Apple and pork, everybody knows that goes together well, right? Okay, side 1 done. We're gonna go to the flip and repeat on the back side. And we're gonna be cooking these arch side of the ribs up. And after it cooks for about 4 hours in a crock pot, then we'll finish them off on the grill with a wet rub. A little combination, a little secret I like to do. Okay, I went ahead and I cut these in half because that was a pretty long rack. I'm pretty sure it wasn't gonna fit in here, which won't hurt anything. I'm gonna stir this up just a little bit to break up that thing of pork base, and it'll all mix with the heat anyway. But just to give it a little head start, we're gonna go ahead and plug the old trusty crock pot in. I've had old trusty for a long time now. I'm gonna set it for, I'm gonna go high for 4 hours. And we'll see how that goes. We can always adjust that later. And so now for the dunk. It's gonna mix in nicely with that sauce, the dry rub. I got them in there twice, and it'll steam up, and these things will cook really nicely. Gonna crack some of this in there. Pretty liberal amount. It does have the cayenne in the dry rub, but the black pepper just gives it yeah, a little smokier flavor, I guess. And I'm not going to bother lifting up the rack. Just get it in there. That'll mix with the juice and percolate nicely. Well, it's been 4 hours. Let's take a look and see what we have. Ooh, smells very good. Man, this really makes the house smell well. Yeah, I'm looking at it. They look pretty done. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull these out. There's one. There's the other half. And what I'm going to do next is slather these up with some barbecue sauce. And we're going to head outside and do a little bit of grilling to finish them up before we run out of daylight. Boy, look at that. You can see the meat pulling away from the bones. These things are going to be pulled apart good. I probably won't even need a fork or a knife. Eat them barehanded. With that dry rub in there and the amount of spices and all that, I'm just going with a basic Kraft original barbecue sauce. No sense to get too fancy when you've got that nice dry rub on there. Okay, I've got the grill heating up a little bit, about 250 degrees. Doesn't have to be that hot. We're more about searing and caramelizing the topping. So let's go ahead and throw these on direct flame, start. There's that, putting the buttered side down if you would. And now I'm gonna paint the tops. And I think I'm gonna go for the double caramel finish on these, which means I'll put more sauce on after this and do it again. Rinse and repeat, as they say. It's only been a few minutes on the one side, but it doesn't take long. Again, you're just looking to caramelize the sauce. We're gonna go ahead and flip. Oh, we could have waited. Fine, that's fine. That's good. All right, I'm gonna close the lid and let this baby fire up a little bit, and we'll add more sauce in a little bit. Nice. Nice. Add a little bit more sauce for the double glaze. And you could cook these low and slow for as long as you want, but eventually they will fall apart. It's happened to me before. Okay, I think they should be pretty decent on the bottom. We do want to get a little more caramelization, the double caramel. Wow, look at that, beautiful. The meat, the bones, nice. Nice. Oh, again, these are doing inspection. Oh, nice marks on there. Nice marks. I'm going to give it a 90-degree turn to get some opposing marks. Or, that wasn't 90, it was 45 degrees, I guess. Oh, you can see see it's already ripping apart right there. Be careful. You'll lose these babies. You got to be careful. I am ready to call these babies done. I can't wait to eat them. I don't know if they need to go longer or not, but I'm calling them done. This is why I brought the spatula with me. Sometimes you have to go to two tongs, two gizmos to get it to not fall apart. So always good to have a backup. There's some marks on there. Okay, I'm going to tent these up and let them rest for a little bit. Go inside and take a taste and see what kind of craziness this is. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. The spices all come together. It's going to be great. Well, it's time for the big reveal. Still pretty hot. I did bring a fork and knife over. I don't know if I'm going to need it. Look at that. They just look beautiful. Wow. Mmm. Really good. Really good. Let's just pull one apart. Now, I know if you have a smoker, you'd be looking at like the bark on it and all that. And I don't have a smoker, but Christmas is coming up soon, hopefully, and the bride will maybe get me a smoker. I have a neighbor has a smoker, but that looks pretty darn good, I think. Oh, the smell, the dry mustard, I think, is the key. That's the key to any good dry rub in my book. Now the taste. Well, really good. The sweetness of the brown sugar, the garlic in there is good. Of course, you're going to expect me to say that. The cayenne, really, really good. You can see, you can even put, well, for the next bite, let me throw a little more sauce on.
Wow, it sounds really tender when you bit into it.
Honey, you got to try this.
Oh, wow, that came right off the bone.
Yeah. Yeah. A great side dish with this would usually be my famous macaroni salad, which that's a secret recipe. I don't know if I can share that. And German potato salad's awesome with this. We're going to have a yam and some green beans. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next episode. No silverware needed tonight, honey. You like to go with a shot of brown sugar. A little cold here today in New Mexico.
Yeah.
The joys of grilling in the wintertime. What does that smell good?
Smells awesome.
I think the dog likes it too. These marks. I'm going to give it a 90-degree turn to get some opposing marks. Or, that wasn't 90, it was 45 degrees, I guess. Sometimes you have to go to two tongs, two gizmos to get it to not fall apart.